That is unbelievable. Insane. Insane. Is that the best we've ever hit an iron? Now, my only concern is, g'day guys, Big Al here, and do you know when you get that sense of deja vu? We're here with the P790. P790. The P790. TaylorMade P790. Is it my turn? Welcome everyone to the new TaylorMade P790. That makes me feel very old.
That's how beautiful you are.
Oh, I cannot wait to hit these today. We have been through a lot, me and the P790, from the first iteration, a few kilograms lighter, even though I am, in fact, losing weight. A long way to go. I'm pretty sure I said this in the previous P790 review, but I've got a soft spot for these golf clubs. Not only have we ran our careers side by side, for me, honestly, I'd put it down as the best all-round golf iron of the last decade. And the best part about it is, it gets better and better. This is a new camera, so I don't know if this is in focus. I could be in focus. If it's not in focus, I'll put a message up. If it is in focus, I'll put a message up. Not that this video is about me at all, but another similarity that we share is that we seem to be getting better looking the older we get. Be kind, it's just an iron. It has feelings. Now, if there's one thing I would like you to do in this video that doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a lot, and that's hitting that little subscribe button and the bell notification. I'm going to say no more. We have the full bag from top to bottom of the new P790. So not only are we going to be in here testing it, looking at the numbers, nowhere to hide, as you're well aware, but also I'm going to take them for a full 9-hole vlog on this channel. So of course, if you want to see that, you know what to do. I'm not going to throw anything. Visuals, I don't know how they do it. It seems to get better and better and better, to a point where you look back at the first generation P790, you go, my goodness, that looks ancient. I feel that hurt a little bit saying that. And it's got better and better. I do feel like it's gradually come more within the other series of irons, like the P770. Visually, it matches everything else that's going off in the set, where before it was a standalone. Now it's like been brought into the family. You have a chair at the table, go on, take a seat, you deserve it. Maybe even head of the table. So visually, I'm not going to stand here and tell porkies, it looks very much like a P790. Off the top of my memory, I can't really compare this to the previous until we do the toe-to-toe, but it's still very P790-like. It's wonderful to look at. No crazy offset with a 7-iron here. And that's the same through the entire bag, from the 4-iron all the way through to the pitching wedge that we've got here. Going to hit some with the 7-iron first, then we're going to look at the pitching wedge briefly, and then finish on the 4-iron, see what we've got spin wise and launch characteristics throughout the entire bag. If you're thinking the swing looks better, it's performing better. I want to say the irons, they are very good, but it's hack motion. That's really what it's down to. I'm not going to lie. That's what it boils down to. Look better on plane, better path, face position, 6,000 RPM. You say there's a bit more left, literally a little bit. Wow, 4901 7-iron on the spin. That's low, but that's high. But of course, the story with the P790 is this suits the majority of golfers. If we lost all golf clubs in the world, but I was allowed to keep one, because I feel like it could fit, the elite players can play it, and the absolute atrocious stinkers can play it too. I mean, I get on well with it. But of course, the story remains with the P790 is a lot of tech. So much technology crammed into the most compact iron possible. As I mentioned before, it's like Mary Poppins' handbag, where you keep pulling things out and it just never ends. It's like, how have they squeezed all this technology in this iron? And well, the 2025 version is no different. I'm definitely not going to stand here and bore you with tech to a point where you have to download Audible to get the audiobook version of it. It's going to be quick, snappy, and you'll hopefully learn a little bit. But a key focus with the new P790 is individual head optimization, that paired with the speed foam air. So each individual iron has a different job to do in the bag, and TaylorMade are just making sure that with the air, just speed foam here. With the help of modal analysis tools, each iron's got its own job and it does it well. So as you can imagine, the shorter stuff, higher launch, greater spin. The other side of that, the long stuff, penetrating ball flight, forgiving, lower spinning. Obviously we mentioned that in the past, but I feel like this is not something you can really measure. It could have started off as very basic in terms of individual head optimization, but now there's no way to measure how good this is getting, unfortunately. But if there's a way to make it really good, I'm sure TaylorMade have done so. A slight pull, but it really is not a lot. That's left side of the pin. From a consistency perspective, obviously I'm going to put a lot of it down to the swing, but this feels so nice in the hands, really, really does. Whether I'm hitting the middle of the sweet spot, I'm not sure. This larger sweet spot might be helping me think I'm hitting the middle, which I'm all for. You know, this has got a huge range of golfing abilities. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I thought I'd actually look at the lofts with you, having forgotten about them. It's been a while since we did the presentation on it all. Just looking at the lofts, oh my goodness. Nah, not really. 7-iron is 30 degrees, which yes, is strong on a traditional loft level. On a modern loft, not really. You know, 34, 35 is traditional 7-iron. You could say it's stronger, but I've seen 26s and I've seen 27s. So, you know, no shocks, no surprises really with that. Ah, okay, I am wrong. Lofts compared to the previous generation, well, it's 5 degrees stronger. It's 0.5 of a degree stronger. It's 5 degrees stronger. It's going further. 0.5 degrees stronger. So a little tweak in the more 30 degree direction, not 30.5. Obviously, maybe a wee bit of benefit there, ball speed wise, per iron number. But again, very, very interesting to see whether that's affected at all characteristics with when we compare the old 7-iron to the new one. I just love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be interested to see. Obviously, we've got the height again. This height's vitally important. If we didn't have this number, this would be more of a concern. But I'm very interested to see how this goes on the course, hitting shots into the green. That's a bit right. Leaking a wee bit, but I mean, keyword there is wee. Not much. Incredible ball speed. This is very steady swing. I feel like I'm getting the power back a little bit more, delivery-wise, more efficient. 6,000 RPM again, 192 carry. So we've got a 4340M. They could literally just be putting any numbers in and I'd read them. 0800 254 333, that might be a number, don't dial it. But we've got a 4340M forged face in this, which is 20% stronger than that of the previous generation. That of course allows for a thinner face, faster ball speeds, and which does. Are we all right? Can't do it. I don't know, sorry. Which does allow for a thinner face, which of course gives us faster ball speeds. TaylorMade is saying this has got a 24% larger sweet spot, again, to the previous P790. P790! That's literally a horror movie. P790! The FLTD CG, which you probably remember from the previous iteration, affects the CG location within each individual iron, giving each iron its own flair. So the longer iron, you can expect the lower CG again, getting that ball in the air with lower spin, easier launching, and then it progressively changes all the way through to the short iron, so the pitcher wedge for example, we've got that higher CG for more control and spin. Back to target. Bit more stuck, that one. What? Insane, insane. Some dispersion on this, let's have a look. Is that the best we've ever hit an iron? This doesn't do it justice, but this is 5 yards either side with all shots. We've had arguably 2 outside, maybe 6 yards right, 7 yards right at the most. all hitting the green, all give us a chance for birdie. Every single one. Now my only concern is spin, and for the majority of golfers, I don't think that's going to be an issue, I'll be honest with you. 7-iron spin, 5,493, which is of course on the lower end, but we've got this height here to basically counter that, so there's no problem there whatsoever. A lot of people will look at this number and go, oh my goodness gracious me, but again, modern technology, slightly stronger loft, lower CG, ball in the air, lower spin, it counters it, and the best part is we hit it slightly further. A lot of people will say, crikey me, loft jacking, we've got to get with the times now, this is not going to go away. And obviously manufacturers, everyone's doing it. We've got to ask yourself then, why is everyone still doing it with all the heat they get for obviously cranking the lofts? It's obviously working, everybody's doing it. So we've got to see how we can help our own game really by just acknowledging and accepting it that this is the way it's going to be forever. Forever? Talk about a flight window of a 7-iron. We've got to hit the pitching wedge for a few shots. Not that exciting, I just want to see spin rates, but 4-iron I want to see as well, whether we get a similar sort of flight pattern with that as well, and if it is in fact going across the bag, because that is unbelievable. Lovely shaping with a pitching wedge, absolutely love that. It's again, not overly big, looks tidy, which everyone will want. No one wants really huge hybrid style pitching wedges. It's got a job, finesse, as long as we've got that forgiveness factor with it. That has come down, it's just on the same line as it went up. Pitching wedge feels great as well. Could be a wee bit left that. Better spin rates, I like to see that. That's what we want. We're hovering around that 8,000 spin rate again, which again, if you cross-reference your peak height, as long as you're getting decent peak height, which is obviously this is what it's designed to do, spin rate, that's more than amply enough to get zippage and spin back. 91 mile an hour club speed with a pitching wedge. I've seen enough with a pitching wedge. I've seen enough, it's 4-iron time. So, 4-iron, right. So one thing that we've now gained by dropping the pitching wedge and picking up the 4-iron is again the speed pocket at the bottom of the iron. Again, this doesn't go through the entire set, it's just the clubs that need the ball speed on the lower strikes. So you get this from 4 to 7 and then 8 all the way through to the short stuff is without the speed pocket because it's not as important. Need more face roll and spin over that of the bouncy trampoline ball speed. This looks fierce as, sharp edges. Usually with irons like this I feel like we see more visual loft. This is just probably lighting as well in here, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of loft to play with. Probably tells you where my golf mentality is right now. Well, we utilised the speed pocket there with the stuck. Very easy though, like that one was way low on the face. I'm not sure if you can see that actually. Probably didn't even hit the face, it's probably probably the sole. I think I've turned the face enough to get a bit of right to left there, or not. 243, lovely that. I can feel the late release there of just closing the face off, which was just enough degree or two to get this turning over. Oh baby. 251, that felt great. It didn't pick up face position there. It's a bit close to the TrackMan, but wow, is all I'm going to say there. It's just like an explosion. I love it. I absolutely love this thing. 255. It's in there, definitely in there. Speed, distance, consistent now. So I think gapping is again important here with regards to distances. But I don't know what more to say really. Like seriously, hats off. What a golf club in every aspect, in my opinion. If you can look past that spin rate in order to go and hit it, please do so, because I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised with how good these things are performing in all areas. Wow, TaylorMade, well done. Well done. Guys, thank you as always for watching. That was incredible. If you're not already a part of Team, please consider hitting the subscribe button, the bell notification. It costs nothing, it helps me out, and you get notified of all future videos. We've got some absolute belters coming up. See you soon.